Welcome to the Possibility Perspective with me, Jess. Authentic, bold, and challenging conversations. The authentic part comes in as me just showing up with an openness to possibilities. The bold is getting to some topics that might ruffle some feathers. And the challenging is for all of us, to challenge ourselves, be open to looking at things through a different lens. You'll hear stories from me, conversations with peers, and interviews with experts on a variety of topics, all with different perspectives. Now, let's get started. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Possibility Perspective. Today is the abundance perspective, and I'm excited about my conversation with Jay Matta. He's the founder of Gnostic TV and the 5D economy. He's here to talk to us about a couple things. One, a product that I myself am also using that I'm excited about, and have actually, I think in my first week of using it, had a reason to use it, which I'm really excited. It's called Legal Shield. And then also we're going to talk about what other creatives and entrepreneurs and creators like myself and other hosts are doing to be able to bring more money into their lives and fuel these dreams and the passions that we have to change the world. And so with that, welcome, Jay.
Jessica, how are you? Thanks for having me in your world.
Yeah, I'm excited. So if we could just start with, can you tell, because you're way more educated in this than me, just tell people a little bit about why you got involved with this and what it is and what you're seeing about the product.
We're speaking about legal shield and identity theft protection. So the why behind it is the fact is that, look, the real color of justice is green, which means that if you don't know your rights, you don't have any rights. So everybody now has abilities to be able to access the legal system, where they wouldn't before for anything that they think that they would imagine. And so it's really about leveling the playing field for everybody, right? So generally, when you think of if you like, everybody knows when they've been wronged and they're like, I wish I could call an attorney. I just don't know if I want to spend $300 to $500 an hour. Maybe it'll work out my favor, maybe it won't. And generally, what happens is people do nothing and they write it off and they're done. This particular scenario, you'll be able to say to your people, and you'll be able to say something like, hey, you're going to hear from my attorney, and this time actually mean it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because you actually do have it. So what it does is it makes the justice system available for everybody at a high quality level. I mean, some of the top law firms in the nation. So it's going to cover everything. So anything that you think you would need an attorney for, and this is the reason we had access to it, is, I mean, basic stuff like a restocking fee on furniture, changing a plane that the airline says, well, no, you have to pay for another additional ticket when you're not supposed to. Those kind of things, if you don't know what to do, then you just accept it for what it is because you don't have the time or money or resources to deal with it. Now you do. So we were able to realize that that's a big issue here in the Western world, America and Canada, right? It's like, people getting caught up, a lot of people working worse. So now if you have someone on your side that can handle those issues for you, great. Then the other side of that, Jessica, is the identity theft. Right now, as we know, that's a crisis right now, right? For everybody. I mean, I don't think anybody, oh my gosh, like this week alone, I think probably I've had to replace 2 credit cards because they said, did you make this purchase? And the answer is no, I didn't. Okay, we'll throw those away. We'll give you that. So it's really no longer a matter of, when if you've been affected, it's to what extent you've been affected, right? So the
Mhm.
identity theft, what that does is that protects the people up to $3 million, right? Which is really big, like in of assets or anything like that in the event their credit score got ruined because someone was to take advantage of that. There's investigators that'll bring their credit scores back to whole. Also, too, it protects them against, especially as conscious entrepreneurs like us and doing podcasts, if someone's talking negatively about you on social media, it'll alert you against that so you can take preemptive strikes. So it really does cover the essence of it. The reason, I mean, we talk a lot about when we are on our shows and things about health and wellness or financial related products, but very rarely do we talk about protecting the interests that we built, that we've spent. And that's really the most important thing. We build, grow, 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 but we don't protect.
Yeah,
Now it's an opportunity to do that.
it's so true. And, I'll just share, I, I was like I was interested because like, yes, I want to be protected. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an independent contractor. Like there's a lot of reasons for me that I was like, yes, this makes sense for me. But what I didn't think about was my spouse, which was really helpful. So that's how I ended up using it like within the first week, because so my husband has type 1 diabetes and we've been in this battle with his supplier company. They like triple charged him a
Yeah.
$1,500 bill for something. And so, and I was like, kind of at my like end of like, I don't know what to do about this. So I opened up my app and I asked, what do I do
Yeah.
about this? And I was able to get answers
Yeah.
pretty much right away. So it's something that like even applies to areas I didn't even think about until it came up and I was like, oh, hello.
Everything, Jessica. I mean, we have a 22-year-old son out of college, and look, let's be real. I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do in college. I mean, that part you're not going to control. But I know if he gets pulled over for any reason, he can tap an app on a phone, and within 90 seconds, an attorney's on the phone 24/7. Doesn't matter what day of the week, holidays, whatever. They can hand that phone right to the officer, and the ops and him and that attorney and the officer are having that conversation. He does not have to have the anxiety, say something he shouldn't be saying, and get himself just ruffled up about that. That's all protected right there. I mean, this is
Yeah.
this is incredible service. I mean, they have really leveled out the justice system, and it's important. The reason we're out here talking about it, and you asked me before, why am I doing it? Because the reality is look, if we don't know our rights, we don't have any rights. And that's what we're here to do, is to just share with people like, look, you got rights. It's very easy to access the legal system, if you know where to go. And then, now, fortunately, in the United States and America and Canada, we know where to go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anything else about that specifically you think people should know, or how easy it is to sign up? I mean, all of those things, like for me personally, like it was like the easiest process in the world, and now I just have the app on my phone. But is there any other like wisdom or anything you want to share about it?
I think the wisdom is this, is that, again, you know who you are. A lot of people watching this are conscious entrepreneurs, or they have some sort of business, or maybe they have things, or just in general, you work, and you build both spiritually, emotionally, financially, and you give it everything you got. And again, just protect yourself is what we're saying here, because it takes one thing to just knock you off your game, and then there you have it. At least have someone that knows the system on your side. It's just smart business. It just makes all the sense in the world. If you have a attorney on retainer and you do that, great, good. If you don't, this is like literally having a lawyer on retainer. I mean, the things that you would love to call an attorney for and have them deal with, just have them do it. The sign up is incredibly easy. You click on a link, it pulls up the different options for you. You pick what you want, tells you what you want for the legal plan for you and your family, what you want for the identity theft. If you're a gun owner, it has specific gun owner protection, Jessica, for if you use your gun in a lawful situation. You still have to explain yourself, right? So they'll
Hmm.
they'll go to, they'll go to defend you. And here's another thing about this program, which is so incredible, is that like down in Florida, and our sheriff's department has this as a payroll benefit, right? It is that powerful, it's that impactful. They know the value of having access to the justice system, even when you're a sheriff. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So employers are having it. It's probably one of the fastest growing employer benefits out there, this particular company, because it does make, if you think about from an employer's perspective, a lot of employees can't go to work because they're dealing with something generally related to some sort of legal issue or that's causing them a problem, so they can't go to work. Imagine now having that available to your employees, and now they can have that. So, it's just really look at it. I mean, we'll have contact information, of course, in there for questions, but it really is that easy. You point and click, and you pick your plan.
Yeah, absolutely. And so to anyone who's interested in this, I'll have links. Jay's also a master at this. Like he's so knowledgeable. He's the one that helped me sign up and understand what I was doing. So just get in touch with me. I'll have you can reach out to me through my website, thepossibilityperspective.com. Also, you can email me and we'll just figure it out. We'll have a chat and see what we can do for you. The next piece of this also is the idea of fueling our dreams.
Yeah.
Because that is something, for me as a host, I'm a baby host compared to, a lot of the people that I work with. They've been doing this for years and years and years, and still to some degree really struggle to monetize what they're doing with what they're doing to fuel their passion in the world. I mean, and we're all here doing this. We want to transform lives. We want to share the wisdom and tools we have so people can but it costs money to do that. I mean, it isn't free to create your content, whether you're paying for it or your own time, right, to edit it. And so this is also what's really nice about this is it's a platform that you can also become an associate and earn additional income while helping people. I mean, it's just
Right.
kind of, it all seems like it works so well together. It seemed too good to be true to me. And then now here it is. So talk
You
about
know,
that part.
so we've been able to effectively, for a very long time, monetize our shows. And one of the things that when you think about a show, and for those of you who have shows watching this, is imagine your show being a store. Okay, how many ever people watching that show are literally like imagine them virtually in your store. This is a great time for you to, just have other things that you do other than your purpose. Your purpose will get there. You'll get your purpose eventually, but here's a couple of things you want to really realize from the consumer standpoint. When you have number one products and services that people are buying, like identity theft and Legal Shield, where you know that it's trending right now, people are needing this service, so they're buying it. It makes good business to buy it. That's number one. Number two, when you start becoming successful at something, meaning that, your purpose that you actually signed up to do, people start to now take that purpose more seriously because they see you as a successful person. Look, people like to do business with successful persons. So let's say, for example, you're a healer or you're a consultant or a coach, and you're not quite making it. I can assure you that your people generally know that you're not quite making it. So it makes it. Listen, let's be very pragmatic about this. If you have a show, put some other stuff in there right now. And again, we work with trending topics like what are people buying right now and of course the need. So have those kind of things in your show. You'll start making money at that. When you start making money, wherever that money comes from, don't get so attached to it. Okay, is what I'm saying. Is that, wherever that money comes from, it's just going to make you feel better about everything. It's going to make you feel better about the decisions you make. It's going to make you feel better about, putting more into your company, your business. You're going to feel good about it. You're going to go out. You're going to get to do things you weren't able to do the month before. That psychologically is going to take you to a whole other level. Your potential clients are going to see that energy shift in you. Your potential business partners are going to see that energy shift in you. And that is going to take you to another level. So it's really smart business for multiple reasons. That of course, having multiple streams of income, Jessica, but also the psychological aspect of it. Okay. And success breeds success. It is what it is. I don't make the rules. It is what it is, though. People like to buy from successful people. So when you have things like this as a show, it's a beautiful thing. We're in the business of having a show because we realize we can have multiple streams of income without having multiple jobs. It's really that simple for us.
Yeah, and it's something you said, the energy of it, because that's my own problem is like I think we can get so attached to where our income has to come from
Yeah.
because it's like this is my purpose. I have to
Yeah.
earn my money from this. This has to get me the income to fuel this thing. But if we open up our minds a little bit to literally the abundance perspective, which is the name of this episode,
Yeah.
then we're open to all possibilities and all ways to generate wealth for ourselves to fuel whatever it is we want to do, which is why I'm doing it because same reason. I'm like, I want to be able to do a lot of things
Well,
and I need to find creative ways to do it.
and think about it this way. If you, whatever your belief systems are, generally when you think of purpose, we think about, well, divinity gave us this purpose, or God or universe gave me this thing, whatever you want to call it, right? Gave me this purpose to be able to say, this is what I'm supposed to do. My belief system is that purpose should be all profit, meaning that is that whatever you make on your purpose, that should not go to your expenses. That should not go to your bills. That should go to you to live your life and flourish and prosper. It's the other stuff in between. Use that to pay your expenses. Use the legal shield. Use the identity theft. Use these other things along the way. Let that pay for all the stuff. So your purpose then becomes profit. Literally,
Yeah.
that's the way to look at it. And I tell you, and if you can shift your mindset that way, then your purpose will turn. Your purpose will no longer feel like work.
Mhm.
I need more of my purpose to pay my bills. You won't think like that anymore. Your purpose will just be like, oh yeah, I get to go here because the other stuff is taking care of all your expenses. You know?
Right. Yeah, and it's just to kind of drill that home. I mean, I talk to a lot of people about like how do I get sponsors and advertisers and things, to pay for like this. And easier said than done sometimes in some scenarios, but this puts us in control of it because I mean we
Yeah.
are advertising our own thing on our own show that then's going to help, bring in that
Yeah.
revenue. I think it's just to me the smartest way to be a podcaster or content creator today is to have multiple of these things going on that you can
You
share
have
with the
to, you
world.
have to. And for sponsors, I mean, look, we've excelled at getting sponsors, but I will tell you one of the things with sponsors, again, they want to see you're successful. I mean, to plug on a
Mm-hmm.
show and flip a switch and I'm on the internet, those days are long over. That's like 1990s now where people used to do that. This now we're in a very competitive marketplace
Mm-hmm.
and it still is extremely prosperous. But again, people again, people are going to want to sponsor with you because I work with shows and I see shows that sponsors are putting a lot of money into, but those are shows are successful at other things. You,
Mm-hmm.
you see what I mean? And that's
Mm-hmm.
that's the model right there. You just have to show that you're successful. And again, because a business, remember, if a business is investing in you, a sponsor, they want to see that, hey, what else are they successful at? It. They may not say it to you in that way, but they're saying that to themselves
Of
all the
course.
time. Believe me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean everything. It's about that for sponsorships, return on investment. Like they have to see that, and it
Yeah.
goes back to the energy of it. We have to be in that not chasing, not
Yeah.
grasping, not energy. We have to be in the yeah, I am successful. I am doing this. Look at what I'm creating, energy, and then it all ripples
It all
into
ripples. It all
yeah,
ripples. It's all vibrational energy. It really is.
yeah.
And I think when people can embrace that and really realize that having a show is probably, in my opinion, the biggest blessing in the world. There's the therapeutic benefits of it because you get to talk it out, right? You get to release the emotions of the day. You know what I mean? Whether you think you do or not, it does help. It's pretty therapeutic. And again, then the economic benefits that come along with it. But treat it as a business, I will say from a universal multi-dimensional perspective, is that if you treat it with respect, it will respect you. If you treat it like a business, it'll give you what the benefits of a business are going to be. If you treat it like maybe a little bit, it's just a podcast, or I'm just doing this, then that's what you'll get out of it. You
Hmm.
know?
Yeah, very true. So final, like switch gears because we've alluded to this a little bit, but talk to
Yep.
us about Gnostic TV and what that is and what you've created and the opportunities there too.
So Gnostic TV is an on-demand center, meaning that, when people have already recorded something, they can, have their stuff on demand. We're completely uncensored. It's Gnostic TV, Ancient Wisdoms Reimagined. So, it's everything that you can imagine as far as what it does. We created it in a way to really get connected with other messengers. Like there's some amazing messengers out there, and we feel like, that they've got stories, they've got wisdom that we don't know. And it's like, we're just looking for people to help us find out how do we live life, whether that be mind, body, spirit, or prosperity, right? So it's just like, how do you live life? So it's a network for that. So, we welcome content creators that want to share their journeys with us as far as that, want to talk to us about that. We do conferences on there. We do like, courses, people put courses on there. So that's a great place for, you to get on there too, where it's very prosperity driven in it that, where we harness that level of energetic abundance in the network, so we do that. Like I said, our perspective is multidimensional. So, we believe if energetically we can do that, we can attract that kind of level of abundance there. And look, people that are a part of the network, I mean, we're going to support them any way they can. If they're, for example, if they are part of our Legal Shield, ID Shield distribution, we're going to have them invite them on the network. We're going to give them other ways for them to prosper, not only to prosper at that, but maybe their coaching business, maybe their courses, maybe their retreats, whatever they do. We're just going to give them another alternative access to succeed in life.
I want to thank you for having such a powerful abundance perspective. And I mean, just my experience with you personally has been like you're here to support everybody and everybody lifts everybody up. And I've seen that from day one with you and, throughout this whole process and everything you've created. And I think it's amazing, especially in a world where, there tends to sometimes be a lot of competition and a lot of negativity and things. That's not you. And I thank you for that.
No, you're welcome. Yeah, no, it's too much work to do it any other way, right? I mean, it's like it really is, and it's no fun. We're not going to take any of this with us wherever we go, right? So we might
Yeah.
as well, find our vibrational matches, do some cool stuff in life, prosper, help each other along the way, fit into each other's plans. And look, these tools like Legal Shield and all this stuff, they're a means to an end, is all I'm saying. But at the end of the day, if they work to help fuel your, your passions and stuff, and they do well, then, let's do it. Nobody grew up and said, oh, I want to be this representative or I want to be that. I mean, it's just part of life, right?
Yeah,
We do what we do.
absolutely. Any final words of wisdom before we wrap up?
Yeah, I would say, if you're a show host, thank you for taking the steps to do that, because it's really important that we need your message out there, and we do. We all need each other to really get out there. So I am really, I'm telling you, I'm championing you on from my perspective. I wish you a lot of love and luck on your journey on that. I would constantly be thinking, every time you turn on your show, I would think about the fact of like, treat it like a business and think about, where am I going to monetize today? And when you think like that energetically, you'll project that and it'll draw into you.
I love that advice. Thank you, Jay. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me in your world, Jessica. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Everyone, until next time, subscribe to the Possibility Perspective on every podcast outlet. You can get it on the Transformation Network, and I will see you soon. Thanks for listening to the Possibility Perspective on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information about the show, you can subscribe to the podcast. Visit thepossibilityperspective.com.